Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is heading to France, his third visit to the country since 2019. This will be a short trip, but it will be a significant one. PM Modi is the guest of honor for the Bastille Day Parade, France's Independence Day, so there will be military pomp. But that's not the only highlight of the visit. The other is defense deals. Mega deals worth $3.3 billion. So what does Prime Minister Modi's schedule look like? PM Modi will land in Paris on the first day. He will attend a state banquet hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The location is the iconic Louvre. Here, PM Modi will meet the entire political leadership of France. This includes the French Prime Minister, the Presidents of the Senate and the National Assembly, and other important members of society. He will separately interact with the Indian diaspora in France, CEOs of both French and Indian companies, and prominent French personalities. Then, on July 14th, PM Modi will be the guest of honor at the Bastille Day celebrations. Bastille Day is celebrated every year on July 14th in France. It marks the storming of the Bastille in 1789, also the beginning of the French Revolution. Since 1880, it is marked with a military parade on the Champs-Élysées. This year, an Indian Armed Forces contingent will march alongside their French counterparts. 3 Indian Air Force aircraft will also perform a flypast. This year's Bastille Day holds a special significance. It marks 25 years of strategic partnership between India and France. Over the years, France and India have become strategic partners and close defense allies, which is why this visit will see some mega defense deals. India will buy 26 Rafale marine fighter aircraft. New Delhi will also acquire 3 Scorpene-class submarines. The deals are said to be worth Rs 90,000 crore or $3.3 billion. It'll help the Indian Navy boost its formidable arsenal, thus boosting defense ties between India and France. It is truly a summer of diplomacy for India. PM Modi's France visit comes just at the heels of his state visit to Washington. From France, PM Modi will also make a stopover at the UAE, a move to take forward bilateral ties in energy, food security, and defense.
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night, he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today, Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony. The US and Russia are dangerously close to an armed conflict. This year, 2023, New Delhi will be the capital of global diplomacy. For a country as diverse as ours, with 88% of the population illiterate, it was a very big deal to write a constitution, and that too, the world's largest. Meanwhile, if we may, here's a Republic Day gift from India for the BBC. A list of suggestions for the BBC for their upcoming documentaries. Number 1. The Kohinoor and the colonial loot. Number 2, an outdated monarchy and unhealthy obsession with the royals. Number 3, racism in 2023. We're waiting.